Let's take a look at this sample day of training from Range of Motion Individualized Programming. Every training day begins with pre-exercise dynamic movements, using a mechanical model to move our body through the range of the movements that will be completed during that session. From there on to pre-exercise mobilization. You can see there are some demo videos here as well. The pre-exercise mobilization acts to improve the range of certain joints where that specific individual may be tight, which is going to cause suboptimal movement patterns in the exercises and movements that we will see later in this session. From there, they go on to pre-exercise activation work. So instead of release work, this is turning those muscles on that may be underactive. They will build to their working weights. And now we get into the crux of the training session itself. So this is an absolute strength session. In this particular session here, part A is focusing on dynamic effort work. This is where we drop the weight down, add a little bit of accommodating resistance through the use of resistance bands here, and we move very fast, very powerfully with a lot of explosiveness. From that, we move into part B of the session. This is now into more max effort work as opposed to dynamic effort work, and we are alternating between a conventional deadlift and a high bar back squat. 2 conventional deadlifts, 4 high bar back squats, alternating each 2 minutes until 5 rounds have been completed. A lot of the individuals we work with are seeing us because they want an improvement across the board. We know that the best way to get strong is to do longer sessions, but we're aware that people have time limitations as well. So this session becomes a very effective way to get strong while still bearing in mind that people have lives to live, and also that they potentially have a higher cardiorespiratory endurance than someone who is just focusing purely on strength. For each of these sessions, for example, in this relative stamina session that we have next, which is where we're looking to do high rep bodyweight movements, we have very detailed session notes. You can see this example here. These session notes take the individual through things like programming science, the reasoning behind what we do, health and body composition benefits, performance benefits, strategy, the intended feel, scaling guidelines, and common mistakes. So each of the sessions we program has these detailed session notes to get the most out of every single piece of training. Final piece of training for the day is a ring position conditioning EIP. EIP is an exercise improvement program, a series of very, very short 5-minute pieces of training that we just tack onto the end of your training day to improve those areas that may be a current focus for you or may be a weakness for you. Finally, to wrap up the work for the day, post-exercise stabilization work to ensure that any movements that have been compromised by being underactive through certain muscle groups during that session are being addressed. Again, with full demo videos for all of these. And finally, into some post-exercise mobilization work. Again, looking at the movements we performed during that session, identifying tightnesses that caused suboptimal movement patterns and eradicating those at the end of each day.